What is a hybrid event? Hybrid events are kind of the new standard. You may not know what that is, so since we've done 17 events and we built this studio ourselves to do hybrid events, I'm going to share with you how you can use the power of this amazing event structure in your own business. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I've spent $900,000 just putting events on. We have spent almost $1 million just putting events on. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, we should build our own studio to remove that cost. And I'm so glad that we did. We've now made over $3.1 million just on the sales from events though. So while we spent $1 million, right, we actually made 3.1 doing events. Events are one of the biggest revenue accelerators for literally any company. And it's the reason we built this. People rent it out from us. We obviously use it ourselves as well. In this video though, I'm gonna share with you the 3 adjustments you're gonna have to make if you're moving from a live event to a hybrid event. Now let's go into them. Number 1, the engagement adjustment. This is actually a really challenging one. I paid a lot of money to a sales guy, sales teacher, to come in and teach me more stage selling techniques. And the one big takeaway I got from him was he said, Steven, people don't buy based on how much they learn. They buy based on how much they're engaged. This was like this massive gold nugget that he dropped, and it was worth everything that I paid to him. And what he said is like, Steve, when you're on your stage and you're teaching, don't think that they're buying anything because of what you taught. You still want to teach, of course. But if you can increase the engagement from the audience, that is one of the main key indicators on how much money you're going to make at the end of an event. So this is a challenge for hybrid events, because in a live event, I could stand up and I could say, what questions do you guys have, right? I'm looking out to the audience, what questions do you guys have? And they're like, I got this question, that question, right? That's a awesome engagement piece. But if I'm going hybrid, and part of my audience is virtual and the other part is physical, it actually is a really weird, it's weird as a speaker because you have to engage basically 2 separate audiences. Okay, so you have to treat this like 2 separate audiences. One of the audiences is virtual and you're talking to them. The other audience is in front of you, and you have to have a little bit of engagement method for both. So what I've noticed is that as I've transitioned from live events to hybrid ones, I have to budget more time for Q&A. More time, because I have to account for the people that are virtual. And it's weird. The format is half of the problem, right? Where it takes longer. And they're going to write in their comments, and I'm going to read their comments on this cool little stage screen we've got over there. And I read their comment, I'm like, Sally, says, how can I do this, or that? And I'm like, well, Sally, I would do 1, 2, 3, X, Y, and Z. And Sally's like, oh, well, I just worded the question wrong. What I really meant was this. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, Sally, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, and 3. It adds more time because they're virtual. You don't get that interpersonal exchange, and so the time for Q&A, you got to budget a lot more for it. The other thing I've done to increase engagement with a hybrid event is I actually don't really call them events that much anymore. If people buy based on how much they're engaged and not how much they learn, I need to really make sure that they are participating in the day. And so the way that I do that is we create, after each of my speeches, what we call a so what section. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you guys got to come to one of my events. Okay, we do a lot of them. We're good at them. We promise it's worth your time. Okay, but we create a little so what section. And basically it looks like this. Cool, Steve, you're teaching me all the stuff. Oh, awesome. Like, who cares? So what? And the so what is the 2 or 3 things that you need to answer to actually do what I just taught. I hate lecture events. I hate them. So what we actually have been doing is we've been getting away from the word event, and we've been saying workshop. And instead of saying, come to this 3-day event lecture, right, which is basically what most other events are, we're like, look, you're going to be really engaged here. There's a lot of stuff you're going to be doing. We're going to literally walk you through Steve's process. He's going to teach, and then he's going to tell you exactly what you should go and be applying with the so what section, and you're going to write down the answers to that. That little adjustment right there, calling it a workshop instead of an event, that's been massive for our transition to hybrid. Number 2, speaker adjustment. It's actually really hard as a speaker to speak at hybrid events. One of my buddies was running a hybrid event recently, and I was like, hey man, how's it going? And he goes, it's good. I mean, it's not to say that the speeches aren't good, that the speakers aren't great, that the audience isn't loving it. He said what's hard is you're on stage, and I already alluded to this in the previous one, but you're talking to one audience that shows up differently that's in person, but you're also talking to another audience that's virtual that shows up differently because they're virtual. Right? It's no one's fault. It's just different. And so as a speaker, that's one of the weirdest things to get used to is you need to look at the audience, but then also look at the cameras because they're you know what I mean? Like I don't normally look at the cameras when it's just a live event. Like, I'm looking straight at the person, you know, like you know what I mean? I'm looking at the audience, and there happens to be a camera recording it. And so this is weird, and I've noticed that most of my other peers that are getting into hybrid events, we've all talked about this awkward part, and the danger is that one of the audiences starts to feel left behind. Okay, so it's almost like there's an event that's happening for the people in person, and the people who are virtual are just observing fly on the wall. They're not actually part of the event, right? That's been one of the biggest dangers that I've seen here. So it is actually a big speaker adjustment. So as a speaker, one of the things that you can do with this is create little tiny traditions, if you will, in how you show up for the two different audiences. For example, the people that are online, that are virtual, we'll ship out to them like these little emoji paddles. It's like a happy one. One's like a pig, Gapple's pig, like, whoa, oink, that was awesome. Right, we'll send out like little thumbs up or like a foam finger, like, woo. And so we give them these tools to engage with us. And we control that by shipping it to them. You got a ticket? Hey, here's your stuff to engage with us back. And what's been powerful about that is as a speaker, it's almost like a cue to remember, oh yeah, they're there. Oh yeah, they're there. They're all shaking their little things, the little paddles. Because you'll have hundreds of people on Zoom, and 100 people in person. You got to talk to both though. So again, one of the things you can do is ship out stuff to help the viewers that are virtual engage with you. The other thing you can do is for the people that are in person, maybe charge a little more for that seat, you know, or keep it the same prices but give an extra perk for the people who come in person. It's way easier if the room's not empty on a speaker. So incentivize people to come in. We'll have a little networking dinner that obviously those in person are really only able to participate in. Think about this though. What is the adjustment though of a speaker you're gonna have to make moving forward? Because it is different, and you don't want to set yourself up where half the audience like kind of has a weird feeling about you because you're not talking to them, but you should be. That's important to think about. Hey guys, before I go into this third point here, I want you to in the comments let me know what is the event that you guys have been to where it was a hybrid event that they pulled it off well. I'd love to give them a little shout out down below. Feel free to tag them, but hey, this person did a great job on the hybrid event. Let's give them a little round of applause, if you will, in the comments, because it's not easy as an event thrower to make this transition. Typically, people are saying, I'm just virtual or I'm just live, but this combo thing is hard to do. Let's give them a round of applause in the comments. Number 3, there's the big sale adjustment. How do you adjust your sales? And this is a hard one. All right, 2 or 3 years ago, I had 650 people come to a live event. We did a big live event. We rented a place downtown Boise, and had hundreds of people. It was awesome. I dropped the sale, meaning I went out and I gave an offer. As soon as I dropped the offer, it's so hard to do this, but when it happens, oh my gosh, it is awesome. There's a stage rush. Stage rush is like one of the coolest experiences on the planet. You're still pitching, and people, dozens of people are standing up and sprinting to the back of the room to go by. Oh my gosh. That's a good feeling, man. That's super, super fun. How do you handle that though if it's a virtual event? Okay, this is how the sale typically happens when you're doing a live only event. A live only event happens, you do your sale and you see people stand up and they go to the back to get order forms. And it's like, oh, wait, if that happens, I'm like, oh, all the stress amounts to that one part right there. If people stand up and they go towards the back, I don't even know if they're buying, just that they're getting up and they're taking action. I'm like, oh, if that happens, guys, I'm like, oh, okay, this event's gonna work. But in virtual, it's hard to do that. And I gotta tell you, I've had so many conversations with my friends going through they're doing their virtual event. They'll drop their sale and they'll be like, Steve, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is gonna work. No sales came in, or nothing did happen. Oh, right. And there's this internal freak out moment. And it's like the scariest thing on the planet to think that you won't make any sales. Okay, so here's the big difference. And you need to adjust this really, really hard in your mindset. Okay, because a lot of people to get themselves down here. When you're doing a live event, a lot of sales come in the moment you open cart. And then they trickle away, and a few more will come in when you close cart. That's not how it works virtually. So just reattune your expectations. This is what I'm trying to bring up here, okay? Usually the way it works virtually for me is I drop the sale and maybe 20% of the sales come in and I'm sitting over here in the box of shame. Oh my gosh, right, I'm freaking out, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die in a gutter. Oh my God, we didn't sell anything, this is gonna be terrible, right? And for whatever reason, virtual is just that way. And then as we go to close the cart, that's where all the sales come in. So it's a little bit opposite. The two worlds behave differently in their buying behavior. And I'm trying to just bring awareness to that so that when you sell virtually for the first time and you're like, oh man, I barely got any sales, wait till you close cart, because that's usually what I'm finding. That's what I'm finding anyway. That's where the most people buy it, when they're virtual. So don't get poopy pants syndrome. It's all part of the plan. Don't click away. If you guys want a live example of what I just shared, go to offerlaunch.com. The link is in the description. Click it. And what you'll see there is what we have is a bunch of cool resources for you, really cool speeches that are all about how to actually go get traffic and attention and sell the offer that you've worked hard to create. This is where most entrepreneurs get stuck. Go to offerlaunch.com so we can teach you guys how to design a 5- and 6-figure launch. We'll see you there.